Good morning, children. Welcome back to our political science class, that is Outcomes of Democracy. In the last class, we have discussed about how the government should be accountable, legitimate, and responsive, right? And also, I asked a question that how can we clear the economic inequalities in the society? Also, we have discussed. So, this how can we clear the economic inequalities in the society? Though the economic inequalities exist in the society, how the democracy deals with that. So, in today's class, we discuss about that topic. Children, we know that democracies are based on political equality, right? All individuals have equal power and hold equal weightage in electing representatives. Unfortunately, along with political equality, we find economic growth equalities. For example, if you look at our country, one third of the global poor lives in India, despite the high economic growth. Did you know, children? Tanzania is the third biggest gold producer in Africa with decent economic growth. Yet, the country remains one of the poorest in the world. With the poor in majority, shouldn't democracy be a rule of the poor? No, not really. The poor constitute a large proportion of the voters, and every party focuses on them while campaigning. Yet the democratically elected members do not address the problems of the poor, contrary to what one expects them to do. The situation is bad in several so called democratic countries. More than half of the population in Bangladesh lives in poverty. People in several countries depend upon rich countries even for their food supplies till now. On the whole, we can conclude that though democracies cannot remove economic equality completely, we can minimize the degree of disparity by progressive planning. Democracies usually develop procedures to accommodate various social divisions that exist within the country. To a large extent, this helps reduce explosive and violent tensions in society children. Inability to handle social differences, divisions, conflicts is a distinct advantage of democracy. Thus, democracy is best suited to produce the first social outcome of accommodation of social diversity. To achieve this social outcome, a democracy must fulfill two conditions, children. The first condition is that the majority needs to work with the minority to help the government represent a general view of the country. Secondly, the rule by minority does not mean by a certain religion, race, or linguistic group that is in minority. Majority rule should not lead the tyranny of the majority children. It means what? Majority people should not rule always only majority people, but majority people also can be led by minority people also. For example, in India, we have just 1/4 of the rich and 3/4 of the poor. But these rich people, if they want to contest in the elections during campaigning, they focus on the poor people's needs. So they find out the needs and they add them in their agenda and prepare a manifesto and to eradicate poverty or eradicate unemployment. Like that, they come with their slogans. So in that way, if these minority people does not support these the rich people or majority people, they cannot win in the elections. That's why. Yes. Next one. Majority rule means that in case of every citizen, every decisions or election, different persons and groups can form a majority. Every citizen should have a chance of being in majority at some point of time. Democracy also stands superior in the second social outcome, promoting dignity and freedom of the individual. So, all citizens should be equal before the law and have equal access to power. Conflicts also arise when individuals are not treated with the respect they deserve. If you also don't deserve respect, you conflict, right? One of the chief elements of democratic society is respect to and equal treatment of women. Isn't it, children? In a historically male dominated society, women have struggled to gain the respect and equality they deserve, thanks to democratic setup. In that way, we can gain women also equal important along with the men. The principle of equality has a moral and legal recognition. It thus becomes easier for women to struggle against what is legally and morally acceptable. Similarly, in a democracy, the disadvantaged and discriminated castes also gain their right to equalities, equal status, and equal opportunities. Although caste based inequalities and atrocities continue to exist even today, they lack moral and legal foundations children. So people will also have expectations and complaints about the way the democracy functions. So this by itself is an indication that people have developed awareness and expects to those in power to be accountable to citizens. Most people today realize that their vote matters, children. It gives them a say in the running of the government and ensures that their interests are protected. All in all, we can say that democracy has been largely successful in transforming people from mere bystanders into responsible citizens. So, if you participate in the elections and if you become the leaders, you can change the country, you can change the society, you can bring change in any kind of area. So, that is how we are becoming from mere bystanders into responsible citizens. So, with this, I conclude the chapter, children. Thank you.